Hey everyone, it's Mel from Everything Marmy. The camera decided to turn itself on, so instead of me stopping and starting it because of the configuration of this holder down here at my kitchen table, or dining room table if you will, I just decided to go ahead and let it run. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Mel from Everything Marmy. Welcome. It's Saturday, I'm exhausted, and this video is an arts and crafts video. So if you're my planner friends and you're not into it, or you just want something to play in the background while you pull out your stickers and your planners and all of that stuff, that's fine. I did want to show you very quickly that the planner I did get for myself before we move on to this, because this, of course, this book was from a December Stalogy that I was going, no, not a December, it was last September's Stalogy, and I guess I was going to do a December's in here. I never did. And so I've got all these pages, and I guess in the back I did some what I call, sloppy painting in the commonplace part. You all should know I call my art kindergarten art, so I am completely open and welcome for you to say, oh my god, Mel, like that's complete crap. Totally down for that. That's not the point of the exercise, however. The point of the exercise is to lose myself from the gerbil in my mind, or to distract myself from, I don't know, you name it, I can think of it. Like how I don't want to, well, I've been cleaning all day, so that one doesn't really count, but I'm tired and I don't want to go to bed yet. Because it's really early. It's like 7 o'clock, and I was so tired when I posted that video last night. It took me forever just to like title it. So, Tuxedo Plans had asked me a comment on, oh, before I get there, I'm sorry. I wanted to show you. So this was the planner I got for discount at Pumpkin Productivity. For her yearly planner 2025. It's very plain Jane. It goes all year round, and of course we're in August, and then we'll go into September. I don't plan on starting this until September, and so I used my stickers to decorate the notes pages here and here. And I don't know why I decorated. Oh, that is because, Mel, back up. Here's September. So I did decorate with that sticker package I got. The end of August here. September. Because, I mean, I find it's very, very plain. And there's the other side, and every page, I think there was a sticker enough to go to page, oh, I don't know how it works, but I mean, I managed to get quite a few. Did I do them all? Yeah, except for maybe one, I don't know. And then I had some for the notes in the back. And what's neat is that this is going to be my pre-planner, because I'm not really a planner, you guys. So what I am is a memory keeper. So the whole point of this book for me is to make life simpler so that I can do more focused sorry, I'm looking for the right word, and This always happens to me. And I just recognized I forgot my water. My apologies. I gotta get it. It's not far. Not far at all. So yeah, the point of this particular planner for now is just to keep me on track so that I don't use excuses, which is, you know, all I have is myself to be accountable. I don't have a family I have to cook for at home. All my children are grown up. My grandchildren, of course, live with their folks. I have no one to be accountable but for me. That's it. I keep a very close circle of acquaintances. I don't have people come into my house for like book clubs or crap like that. I just don't. I'm a writer. I'm an introvert. I keep to myself. So if I don't motivate myself, there's nobody to motivate myself for me. And I tend to be a maximalist, i.e. borderline hoarder. There, I've said it. I got stuff and I've got hobbies and it's very hard for me to let go, i.e., which is why I'm in therapy so many times a week, which, you know, being a veteran, I mean, that's a big part of it. But nonetheless, you do attach yourself to your things, whereas I don't want to. And lately I've been finding myself so extremely tired, you guys. Like, and there's a reason for it. So I've just got to push on through the fatigue. So in September, there'll be a to-do list, main goals, an affirmation, how I'll look after myself, proactive things I'll do, fun things I'll do, what I love about September, key dates, and then it has weekly overviews. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 if required. And then it just does half a page per day. And I like it. I like the format. I like the simplicity of it. And so, and I like the fact that this little book here, as I was showing in my one of my last little things, I was showing like a daily prep, which was on the 27th of August for the next day. What is my perfect day? Blah, 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 blah. So I want to spend more time on art, on a commonplace / art book, or like a journal of the day with pictures and paints and artistic designs. And I really don't care if I use whatever notebook I use. So that's not the point. The point is that my artistic expression comes down on the page so that I can express it that way, because sometimes words aren't enough and I can't express it, and it's just easier that way for me. So I just wanted to show you that's pretty much all I've done there. And I did mark the top where 1 is not exactly where I want it to be. And now it's too high, I believe. Yep. So we're going to play this game. I was watching Marcia's video today from Mom Needs a Plan. No, Mom Needs a Clone. Sorry, Marcia. I really liked her commonplace book idea. I can't wait to see what she has. Oh God, speak Mel. What she has up her sleeve, because she's very, very creative. And before I continue, I want to thank Monique. I want to thank Lisa from Life with Lisa Ann, and Monique, of course, is Monique Writes, for letting everybody know that I'm back. Thank you guys. You didn't have to do that for me. Thank you for everybody that's come back to my channel. And I vow that if I ever have to pull the plug again, I will give some notice. It's not fair. It wasn't fair what I did. However, under the circumstances, I really didn't have a choice. I hope, I pray, you guys understand that. Okay, moving on. So back to Tuxedo Plans. Thank you, Tuxedo Plans. I don't know your name. I don't know your name, hun. I want to know your name, but if you don't want to share it, I don't know it. And like, I watch your videos and I don't know your name. And it feels kind of silly. But you said in one of these books, you wanted to know. I'm just going to do a quick flip of it. So if you all missed that video. This page, by the way, I totally messed up. Now this is gouache. So what she wanted to know, and I'm going to use the word she, meaning Tuxedo Plans. What she wanted to know is if I use gouache on a page, I believe in this book. So this is gouache, okay? And this was the Hemi gouache. This is Daniel Smith. This was pencil crayon. I love Daniel Smith. This was leftover paint. And you'll see, I don't know if you can see how I've used lines from like just pens. I think this was just an ordinary Bic pen to kind of scribble over the areas to give it a definition, okay? Now, I should say that Helen Cryer, she's an artist in the UK. She has influenced me to do this, although I will show you one of these days. I used to do, when I was in the military, I had a column, and sometimes I'd write and sometimes I'd doodle, and I'd call them Q-tips, meaning questionable tips to do with like earthquakes and headaches and, you know, the general overview ideas of this, that, and the other. And it was a play on words, obviously. And I was doing this back then, just without the paints. So this here is pastel. This is paint. These are not quite finished yet. These are leftover paints. This I did after the fact. I should have left it as a sketch because this was a sketch where I was doing a painting for my psychoanalysis, to be, as a matter of fact, and that was last Christmas. This was after the fact as well. This, I'm trying to think. This is acrylic. Yeah, this is my youngest daughter's favorite. Okay, so here was the picture that I did. This one is an example of something that I did where I don't use masking tape and I didn't outline it. So it's got a very impressionistic kind of view. And then this one wasn't going to be anything like this at all. I was trying sparkly paints, and when I painted it, it didn't look anything like this until I took a pen and started like Zentangling all over it. And then all of a sudden I could see into a house, and it was just a different view. These are my favorite because every time, it's very interesting. Let me just say this, that the human mind can see thousands upon thousands upon thousands of images a second. And so when we sit down and we do art, some of those come through, and these 8 faces came through. I do not believe they're make-believe. I believe there are people out there that I've seen, my subconscious grabbed, and I put them down. This was a close-up of my desk here at one point. Had a big plant up here. This my granddaughter and I did together. We used the Ganzi Tambi. We only had 3 colors. And we were just basically, she drew this box here and told me to do something with it after she thumped down some colors. So that's what I did. This here was done with Caran d'Ache pencil crayons, which are these ones here. And it's very skewered in its perception. Now this painting here I've done, it's right over there. I have another one beside it. It's right over there beside it. But I did it twisting reality. So if you look at this table goes from looking down to looking across. So it's done very distorted, and that's why I called it Distorted in Exhaustion. And I'm falling asleep. And I've been doing that again and again. So as for these pages, these are leftover watercolor. Same with that. Same with that. As for these are not, I think these are the ones that you were like mentioning. These 3 here. They're not finished yet. These are not gouache. These are watercolor. And I believe these are White Nights. Nope. So they've got to be Daniel Smith. Unless they are, use my arm. Okay, yeah, they are White Nights. Because if you can see the color palette, you see? Yeah. So these ones here are White Night paints. Okay, and you can get those off of Amazon. And no, I have no affiliate link, I'm sorry, and I don't link because I'm in Canada. So these are the White Nights, and I should write that down. I have no idea when I did this, because this one here says Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. I already jumped a year ahead. And this one's not done, so it's not dated at all. Yeah, these are all White Nights, I believe. Now I have to check, I'm sorry, again, with the arm. That's why it's really important to do a swatch card. Yeah, so I was mixing paints big time. Yeah. Oh, no. It says these are Meaden's gouache, the leftover gouache. Okay, so I did, this is gouache. Okay, so it makes me question that one now. Might have been, but the colors are very strikingly similar. So it could have been the gouache in the tubes from Meaden, or it could have been White Nights. Either way, That's all I got for you, darling. I don't know. So, what I thought that I would do today, and you guys have already seen pretty much this book. Now, I had a third book on the go in my Royal Talons, and it's really irking me. It's got to be out in my van, because that one I put a lot of work in. And I tried to pick different papers. So you see this one is like bright white. And then this Dina Wakley book is like far from bright white. I'm going to take out some of these papers in the back. You see it's like cream. It's got soft edges. It's very thick paper. And then this book here is Astrology. So as I was flipping through it, I was surprised because these are obviously watercolor. And I did these December 2024. And I just was going backwards and came across this. Now what strikes me about this particular picture is this is a very real scene. And I hope that you guys can see this and you've been in shot the whole time. Because this is a fire pit here. You see the bricks? So I had been out just before the fire ban in July, early July. And I had built up a fire pit. And was right by the water up sort of in the woods. Now, this is why I love the Uniball Air. And I brought out a couple of different kinds of pens. This is the large capacity 1mm. I don't even know. But that's what this gel pen here. I got a Sharpie pen. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. I've got the 1.6, and sorry, my skin is all flaking. I've got the Bic Crystal 1.6. I've got the Cushion Grip Vision Ink Technology ink supply. Let's just look at these two toppers. So this looks more like, to me, a ballpoint pen. And this is a gel. And then it was Helen Cryer that came up and like told me about the Uniball Air. And why do I like it? Well, that one I'm still working on, but it's very fallish, right? Now I've left a page in between, okay? But you can see like this Stalogy paper is holding up quite a bit. But say if I want to outline, and keep in mind, I can come along and paint over top of this if I want to, or leave it as such. I am just giving it some contrast here, and I wish the lighting down here was better, but it isn't, so we're gonna have to make do with what we've got. but it really like takes the contour and the light, and it really like just reflects it all. And normally I don't put my name or the date on anything unless it's like finished. And I don't follow the paint. Like when I get on here with the pen, sometimes I just scribble. Do you see? Like I'm not following it necessarily. I'm letting the pen and my brain tell me where this pen is going. I am seriously just telling it, you know what, you do your thing. I'm just gonna sit here and like veg out. I don't really care. At this point, I don't really care. You do your thing, and I'm just gonna sit here and do mine. And if you're like, if you take any kind of art, like crayons or like anything like coloring books or like scrap papers or like scissors, or you're cutting out stickers or papers for your planners or whatever it happens to be, like when you allow yourself the freedom to just go, you're not going to know what the final result's going to be. And I find this very similar to when I write. When I write, I only know a couple of things about it. For one, I know how it ends. For two, I've done my research, so I know pretty much the characters that I'm writing about pretty darn good. I mean, sometimes they throw me for a loop and they come to life and they do things that I didn't expect them to do, and then all of a sudden I've got a bit of a, you know, power struggle on my hand. But for the most part, I work the story backwards to forward. But most of the time, the muse comes. And you might hear this phrase quite a bit from artists worldwide. The muse comes. And we're all creators, you guys. All of us. We are all creators. We're creations, therefore we create. So I just wanted to show you this. And as for trees, I love trees. Oh my goodness, do I ever. But the minute you start adding pen and giving it different angles, there's no rhyme nor reason to what I'm doing. I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm sure my brain has just gone on a vacation, because honestly, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, what are you doing? Even though I know in my mind's eye that trees and most things alive follow the Fibonacci numbers, I know this, but I'm not schooled enough to know too much. And I think that's what's key. I think when you're schooled enough to know too much, that creativity kind of gets in the way. This is a debatable topic, you guys, and of course you can chime in if you want, but this is my only opinion. I'm not here to offend anybody. But and if you see a fly, yep, I brought a few bananas in here and I've been hounded ever since. So I feel like all of a sudden I'm just stopping because I realized I went on a bit of a tangent, and it's kind of ironic that I'm playing with trees, but I don't know. I find this very relaxing. Very relaxing. But I find that lots sometimes it's like kids. I mean, kids aren't taught. They know how to draw. You don't have to teach a child how to draw. They know how to draw. You know, people say to me all the time, "Oh, I can't draw, Mel." Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You might not think you draw to your expectations, but you certainly can draw, right? There's 1,000 million things you can do, but our own personal judgment, we say, no, 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 we can't do that, because guess what, folks? We are comparing ourselves. And you know what? That's okay. But it's not going to bring you any joy. Hate to tell you. Hate to tell you. I mean, here you go. Musings from a half a century plus woman. Like, it is not going to make you happier. I've spent a lot of my years being miserable, thinking, what is my purpose? What is my plan? What is my goal? As opposed to, well, why don't I just leave that part alone and enjoy my day and just go with the flow? And if there's something I'm meant to do, it'll show itself, because like I said, we have all these like observations we're making, but our brain doesn't share all of those with us at all. Now you might be thinking, okay, on a totally different topic, you might be thinking, well, Mel, you're cluttering the page up now. And that may be true. Okay, that's why I only did half and half. So you might like this half better, and you might like this half better. And you know, please feel free to chime in. I'm really curious, actually, do you like it outlined as an individual or not? Because it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just, you know, your personal input. That's all. And P.S., by the way, it takes brave people to have opinions. Most people don't have them because they're afraid. And that's, I'm not saying anything negative here. It's an observation I've noticed over the years, is that people would rather just, you know, not give their opinion because they don't want to, you know, hurt somebody's feelings, or they're too busy thinking out the result. Or, you know what, if somebody asks you something, go ahead and give your answer, or don't. Like, if you're uncomfortable, just say, no, I'm uncomfortable. You know, anyway, the reason I'm just blabbling on like this, if you will, is because I can't have music in the background, otherwise I would. So if I wanted to come along and now add more color to it, because this is watercolor, on this particular pencil, you can see like a paintbrush right there. So the thing about watercolor is that, unlike acrylics or gouache, watercolor is something you have to add layer after layer after layer on. I think I mentioned that when I was showing that book. You have to really give it like a chance in the school field. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, then the gouache and the oil and the acrylic are going to beat it. I mean, really. So sometimes you have to add like embellishments to it. Now, this could be prism colors. I don't need to add watercolor pencils on it unless I plan on adding more water. But since they're here, I thought I would. And then I like contrasts, and I don't see purple here, so I'm going to add a little purple. And do you see how the purple pushes that in the background? Now, man, I'm no Dave Ross or Dan Ross. I, I, I'm, like I said, I do kindergarten art. That's what I do. I like it. And for everything that you like to do, where your attention goes, the energy flows. So I like it, I enjoy it, I do it. So therefore, if you do it, you're just going to improve. Like, I'm not saying I'm improved at all. I'm just saying that it just brings me a lot of joy to spend, and you could spend hours, seriously, hours on a painting like this. People have. I happen to love nature. Other people happen to like faces. And yet, you know, what's really funny is that in the clouds, trees, shrubs, bushes, concrete, walls, wallpaper, paint, I see faces everywhere. And it's a common thing. It's a common phenomenon. So yeah, all of this was because Tuxedo Plans wanted to know if it was gouache, and I guess it was gouache. And Meaden. Meaden is a very inexpensive, like their sets are very inexpensive. Like even, and if I can recommend something, you don't need the huge tubes. Like a 5 milliliter tube set, or even just like go to your local art store, get like, as long as you can get like a burgundy or a red, a blue, and a green, you can mix those up and get like so many colors. So many colors. My goodness, those boys, they're really squeezing the time. I'm talking about the boys that are out playing in the back. They must know school's coming up because, my goodness, they've been pushing the hours. Like, no wonder I'm tired. Like, they ran wild, but that's okay. So did I. Where's that orange? Let's get some orange into that fire. Yeah, so I hope you guys bring out your books and, like, do something. Like, I don't like wasted pages, and all I want really is to have a book. And I really got this sense of nostalgia when I was watching Marcia do her, like, first when she was doing her, I forgot what that planner is called. Why do I forget? Day Designer. That little, I think it was like passport size. Was it passport size, you guys? And then now she's doing a B6 Slim Commonplace. Yeah. I love finishing books, and I used to finish so many like journals, but I never like did this kind of journaling before at all. At all. I just wrote. I didn't put stickers, I didn't gear it up. I just sat at the table and just wrote. So of course you can tell there's rock around this fire. Safety is a big concern. And I love just slipping the same color like in 2 or 3 or even more places, because it really does trigger the eye on shadows. Now I suck at shadows, you guys. I don't know shadows from shit. I don't. But I like to pretend, so why not? Now this water here needs something. So when was the last time you guys pulled out something and did art? You don't need expensive paper. Yes, this is Stalogy. Okay, so, but I'm not adding water to it, even though I brought out like a mason jar of water. I just looked at this page and I thought, why not like finish it? Because you don't always have time to do a whole piece of work in one session. You just don't. Logistically, we just don't. We have like so many other things to do, like go hide in our beds and eat popcorn and read our favorite book, which, by the way, I've been loving to do lately. I have. I'm like totally into like historical fiction, and like it's the first book I've read in a long time that isn't like that isn't research or I mean, it still has a lot of knowledge in it, and I like learning from books. I hate it when like I'm reading a book and the facts are just not accurate. And you know, and that's saying a lot, because as far as I'm concerned, even the factual books are fiction, like, because we don't know. We weren't there, we don't know, and so yeah, so we have to chance it. And this one is, of course, considered fiction. That fly is gonna find its end somehow when I lose my patience enough. But I remember, you know, so many times reading books. Like a really good book that I've read, I'm just going to grab one, is All the Light We Cannot See. If you haven't read that book, highly, highly recommend it. Or The Bird. Like, I could come up with so many books, or Wally Lamb's books. She's Come Undone, if you haven't read that book. Or I Know This Much Is True, or The Hour I First Believed. Oh my God, that one. Those are Wally Lamb. Yeah, I don't really get into Danielle Steele and a lot of those old, like, pocketbook kind of things. Like, I like a little bit more depth. But there was one book by Laverell Spencer I liked, and I can't remember the title, but it was because she had 3 girls and she was going home, and the time period again was historical, so I think that's probably the reason why. And I'm sure the title will come to me. But I love 2 children's books. Like, I love going back and reading like the Beatrix Potter and Winnie the Pooh, you know, and of course Jane Austen. I mean, yeah. So, okay, so we've done that, but now I feel like painting a little bit. So I'm gonna try these stone ground paints that I just treated myself to. These ones here. These are the wax paper. And I did bring out this tin that I bought as well, the Tombow tin. And I added water to that. So I think, put those up there. And I have this one here. I haven't transferred over this stuff in this, like, I can't even pronounce this. ASEIS Manos into this very nice one. Not saying that one isn't nice, but this is Jumping Pineapple. And it's waxed. And what I like about it is there's like pockets on the outside. It's real leather. Yeah. So of course, in here, it's all set to go. And what's neat about this one is that, like, there's paints down here. And these are from, I'll tell you in a second, so I don't get it wrong. But as you can tell, they're not used yet because time, you guys. That's it. Not because I find it too precious, but it's time. And then in this one, I have the black one, the Art Toolkit. And look at the colors of that. It's almost like, I don't want to muck it up, but they're beautiful. Those were an investment, absolutely. So from them, I mean, I had to make it worth my while. Draw and Paint Your World. And then the other one is Explore Mixing, the Explore palette. And then down here, I made a little tin of broken New Color 2s, so that when I just want to go out in nature, I do. So like I said, you guys, I have a lot of hobbies, lots. This is like, this used to be my eyeglass spray bottle. I'll pull that out for now. My cheap. I like using this pen for sketching with the 45-degree angle. This is very inexpensive for a calligraphy pen. And I haven't even shown you guys my calligraphy pen collection. But that's because I'm torn sometimes. I'm torn between wanting to show you guys and influencing you guys, and yeah. And then up here, I can open it without like hitting that mason jar of water. Okay, I'm not gonna bother. But in here, I cut these in half and they absorb water. So this is a Jane Davenport sponge. You'd put your paintbrush on that and it would like absorb water and like paper towel in here. So I'm just going to leave it in here so that when I go out, like, I can take it with me. So the only thing I think I need is not a whole lot, because I have a paintbrush, but I wanted to try these stone ground paint pigments out. So let me just remove it from here, because I haven't tried these, but I really, really love it. And I'm going to try Nostalgie. So I'm going to do the back of that page. And the back of this page. And it doesn't fit all the way. It doesn't really matter. It's in here. Now these have been already like peeled away. This one has not, but I really like how I don't have to unwrap them like candies. And I should swatch them first. I might do like a quick swatch over here. And here is what I'm looking for. So in that kit that I bought, like, do I want to use this or no? Okay. So I'm going to wake up the pigment. Doesn't want to work, you guys. There we go. Okay. All right, let's just see if you guys are in focus. So like I said, you really only need 3 colors. You need a red, that's a beautiful red. I should be using like a regular paintbrush and not this one, because I really want to check the no. I really want to check the pigment of it. And how you do that is you start with really bright colors, and then as you move down, you add more water. Of course, I grabbed a really crappy brush. Okay, this brush is not going to do. This is a really crappy brush. I need a good brush. There we go. Let's try this one. Much better. Okay. Let's try this lovely gamboge. Wow. I love that. Like the fall colors in this is just spectacular. Wow. I'm just going to give it a little swatch up here. Let's do the burnt sienna crimson. Oh gosh, you guys, I can already tell, like, these colors are just, wow. And they're stone ground paints. I'll have them in the description. This one's not as dark as I would have thought. But remember, they can all be mixed. And I'm only using like one water. Usually I use two, a clean and a dirty. So this is a wet on wet painting. Like when I add wet down here, that's how I can get my faces. I can see the face. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I didn't put a little color up there. This is ultramarine blue, probably the most popular blue out there that I've ever seen anyway. I always have to put these disclosures. Like, no. Because you know what? Like, somebody's like inevitably going to come and say, well, you know. And all I can say at this point in my life is, yeah, you have the floor, you're right. Because I just don't have the energy anymore. I used to be such a fighter. And now I'm just like, you get tired. Now, after that one is sap green. I really hope you're enjoying your art session, you guys. Like, seriously, it's so good. Like, it would have been perfect on a Sunday, right? To have an art night. But I mean, Saturday's nice too. See how you can make flowers out of that? For some reason, that movie Sleepless in Seattle just like came crashing into my brain. Like, hey, Mel, remember me? Sometimes I wonder where those thoughts come from. What do they call those? Brainworms or something? It's like songs. I really like these colors, you guys. Like, and for the price, for what you get, I didn't find these expensive. This is Florentine green. Wow, you guys, look at that. Wowzers. Let's see what she does. I'm showing you a bunch of different techniques just to show you how the paint can come down. See how she dries. And then the last one is raw umber. Let's see what the raw umber does. That's lovely. So pretty much every color you'd need is right here for the fall or autumn, which is why I got it. And all I need to do is just take this little palette and go on my little merry way with my clipboard and my portable paintbrush. And I try not to sketch my paintings. I just use pen if I'm going to. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I don't know how long I've been doing this for, but I have a feeling our hour is up. And it is. So these are... This is the mono drawing pen. So these are the stone ground paints. And today's date is the 30th. Saturday, the 30th of August. Can you believe it? I cannot. So those have been swatched. We're going to move these over there. And let's see, because we know that that's going to cross over, so we'll just do that. It didn't come through the back here. And then as one final look, there you go. Now, if you want me to do a gouache session, I will in a week's time. How's that? In the meantime, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you had fun with your art or your planners or anything else you chose to do, like sort socks. Because Lord knows if you have kids, you have socks. And where does the odd one go? I mean, I always ask that. How did we lose 15 singular socks in a week? Like, you tell me. I don't know. And that was before wearing odd socks was popular. I want to thank you all. Remember, we are all perfectly imperfect. But in that, you must know your quirks do make you perfect. You are loved, needed, and wanted far, far more than you will ever know. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for spending your time with me. And I hope you have a blessed and beautiful evening and rest of your weekend. Bye for now, everyone. Talk to you soon.